Welcome to the Great Awakening Ministry. I am Minister and Yogini Joanne Lee. And on this week's show, we have Marzcia Techau. Marzcia is a Master of Science in Biology. She is a speaker, author, spiritual teacher, clairvoyant, counselor, medium, healer, Reiki master, and somatic experience practitioner, working with Peter Levine's somatic experience method. For the past 23 years, Marzcia has worked with a blend of scientific and spiritual understandings of life. Her new book, Your Soul, Your Life, A Guide to Healing and Self-Healing, will guide you through transforming and healing so that you may have better access to yourself, to your resources, and to your spiritual strengths and qualities.
UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good.
Marzcia, welcome to the Great Awakening show.
Thank you very, very much. I have so much looking forward to it. It's so nice, really good.
Lovely. Oh, it's really great. And we've got all of your beautiful, I just love the name of your book, Your Soul, Your Life, because that's what we are all about. We are a soul and we're having a life, a physical life, a spiritual soul, and we're having a physical life.
It's simple and it's very simple.
That's right. And it's right to the point. I just think it's absolutely brilliant, you know. But the first question I really want you to ask you for our audience is, can you just describe how you see the soul, the nature of the soul? What is the soul consciousness within us all? Just give us a little description.
Yeah. A little short description about a very big subject.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But how I see our soul is it's a part of the divine. Everyone is a part of the divine. We are one, like one consciousness, but in different parts. If you read Michael Newton, he talks about not every part of our soul is reincarnated every time. So it's only a small part of our soul and an even smaller part of the great divine consciousness. But exactly that amount of soul that you are incarnated with this time has all the possibilities, the life force, your talents, your skills, all the knowledge from, the past lives. So you never come into this life without really, really good possibilities to master this life. So when you live in accordance with your soul, you have the best access to all your potentials and to the divine power within you and around you. So your soul is like the knowledge you have, the skills you have, the talents, the resources you have, and also it's every single minute of your life is connected with the divine. And in that way, when you are embodied with the soul and the divine is also giving life to the earth, to the world. So in that way, I see everything as one, but you have this life right now is very precious because exactly this body with this amount of soul will never come back again. So everything is precious. And even though the soul will return because it's eternal, then exactly this life with those interactions, the family you have, the experiences you have will not return.
Wow. That's such a descriptor that's so beautiful. And so, it's like we come from the oneness and our higher self is our other part of our soul that is in the divine spiritual world, heaven, all the time in the oneness, in the singularity. Yes. And then we come down and we get born, separate into duality. That's why we're always trying to find our wholeness in this, our wholeness, our oneness again with the divine, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, it's like I don't really think that we are disconnected at all.
No.
We are always connected. So it's more like remembering the connectedness, because when we do that, it's like we are living the connected lives in the everyday life, and that creates a possibility for the divine to work through our our being here on earth.
Yeah, that's right. Because the divine experiences through us, and we have the power to use the divine through us
Yeah,
for good or for evil. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
how it experiences this world. This is not our real reality. This is the place where we come to experience that, because our
yeah.
true heaven home is back within the spiritual heavenly realms, isn't it? But yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's you can say that, but I like to think like that this is also our spiritual home,
Yes, this is
because
also
we're
heaven. We
connected.
we
Yeah,
we
yeah.
created to
So
be
it's
so.
so
Mm.
yeah, so it's like we have it inside of us, and we're always connected with it. If we have the consciousness about it. The problem with Earth is that we are not somehow on the way. We lost this culture where we are connected all the time, and that's mostly the Western culture, because other
Yes.
cultures have deeper level of contact. And when I visit Maui, and I have been taught by a Hawaiian healer for a couple of not for 7 years, and when I'm with him, it's like everything is connected: nature, God, divine, ancestors. Everything is like here. It's not far away. It's not up there. It's not down there. It's here, and that feeling of everything connected is also a big belonging. A
Yes.
belonging. Some of the really really big needs we have in this life. That's to belong.
Yes.
But we don't.
Because that's that divine love that we're always connected to. You'll never be alone when you're connected to that. And you don't have to seek it or find it or search for it. It's just here within us, that
Yeah,
divine flame. We are human and we are divine. We're both. We're one.
yeah, yeah.
It's
That's
it's it's quite simple, really. It's not some profound thing that you have to meditate for 10 hours a day to get there as well. It's like,
no. So the thing is, normally when my students ask, I say, when I guide a healing meditation, it's not just a meditation. I connect with the healing energy, because when the healing energy is present, it's like you're connected with with the spirit world, and it helps you, because we normally we regulate our nervous system after our surroundings. So when I connect my students with the healing energy in a healing meditation, they will, regulate the nervous system after the presence of the divine and the spirit world, and that will comfort them and give them this feeling of inner peace very quite fast. And then I say, then you will come in contact with your soul. And they said, what's the soul? And where? It's like something like a Fata Morgana. Everybody wants to seek it, but it's there. So I say, it's in everything. It's when you look at your loved ones. It's when you're walking in nature and you somehow feel this connectedness with nature. That is your soul. It's when if you're creative and you are painting, everything disappears. You're just so much into the painting. That's your soul.
yeah,
When you do something that you really have within your heart, it's like a calling. It's your soul.
yes,
So it's with you all the time. It's not a part. It's you, but you have to, take away some of the disturbing thoughts and emotions and what you have learned from the society, and also the
programming, yeah, and the ego.
everything.
Mm,
But it's there all the
time.
time. And in that way, they understand more about, when I feel at home in myself, or if I feel happy, there I'm connected with my soul. If I feel that I do something that's meaningful, there the soul is really happy again. So in that way, I try to explain it in a more, down to earth ground way. It's not, it's big, but it's still really present.
Yes. Then that's what it is, being present. It's like the heart, mind, soul presence, the heart, mind, soul alignment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And this really amazes me, because it's like the soul consciousness within every living being is God, is the goddess, is the oneness. And that's how God becomes omnipresent and is everywhere, because it's in everything.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
experiences everything. So that, and it's omnipresent through us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I also think it's present, because when I sense a tree and an animal, I sense the presence as well there. So it's in every living thing.
Yes.
It's
Divine
like,
presence.
yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Mm.
So the more that you're present within yourself, the more your life force and your divine energy can support the other life, the other life presence on earth, nature, people, animals, and it's a way where you can empower yourself and other very easily to just be present within your soul and manifest from that point of view or part of you. It's a lot easier said than done, but we have to go the way.
Yeah, that's right. Inner work. Got to do the inner work,
Yeah.
And your beautiful book, please tell us about your book, Your Soul, Your Life, and how it draws from your spiritual and scientific experience, and why this is such an advantage.
Yeah, it's the book is actually one I made for my 50th birthday, and as 20 years of jubileum, because I've been working for 20 years at that time, and now it's 3 years old. So it's a translation from a Danish version. So the English version is 3 years old now, but it's a sum up of everything that I have been teaching, learning, both in my own experience with my own life and the challenging that, everybody has challenge. Everybody experience something that help you to grow or help you to, not grow. And I am much more like, if anything happens to me, I have to find out how can I use that in a positive way. What is it telling me? What is happening within me? Why is it changing, and how can I do things better? And when I have this opportunity to look at my life, often I find new possibilities or new directions in my life. And the book are telling about some of those stories in my life where it has been really hard for me to accept something, and then because I accepted it, something very bigger or more profound opened for me. So the book is partly my own story, partly case stories from my students and clients, and another part is more like theory about how to work with trauma and use the spirit world to help you. That could be ancestors, that could be guardian angels, that could be just healing energy, but also the understanding of inner child development. So not the inner child, but development stages of a child. And if you're stuck somewhere there, it will repeat itself in your life. Or if you have epigenetic transfer trauma, you have to connect with ancestors to help you, or you don't have to, but it's a big help to do that. So I work with past life and ancestors as epigenetic, and I work with this life. So I have 3 channels within a healing process where I investigate where does the trauma or the problems come from. But then again, I also look at where does all the good things come from, because you have a lot of good things from your ancestors. You have a lot of good things from your past lives, and you definitely have a lot of good things from this life. So I always look at both. Where is the what inhibits your soul expression, and what reinforce it. So your good qualities can be supported by both your past life, your ancestors, and the present life. So it's like a mixture of that. And the book is very much talking about how you can make your own self-healing processes. And if it's in a child, you can look at that chapter. If it's connected with family stuff, look at that chapter. I try to build it up very, structured and easy to go through. And there's healing meditations to help you to go into the healing process connected with each subject. And I have used those healing meditations in my own development. I use a healing meditation every morning for the last 23 years. Just to be connected and just sit in the power of the healing and connected with spirit world, and just, what actually happens today. It's like getting help for the day, healing for the day.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And I talk about that as well.
Yeah. And could you please describe ancestral lineage, traumas and qualities, and how they are transferred, to us, and how we can release this trauma via contact with our ancestors, and how we can contact them? Because not many people know that we, it's through the ancestral lineage, and if we don't stop it, it can be negative. So if it's negative, if we don't stop it, then we're going to pass that down to our generations and our children's children. So we have to stop it, and we have to be the 0 point. We have to heal it within ourselves. And then once we heal it within ourselves, we help heal our ancestors and our next generation.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So it's what I have when I work with this. I go into, because I'm a medium as well. I have been working with mediumship and contact to the loved ones in spirit world for so many years, and then I started to work with healing, where I noticed that the loved ones came and helped my client. And I was just, when I am a healer, I'm just a channel, but I'm a very nosy channel. So, because I have to learn every time I do a healing or do a teaching, I have a class, I learn new stuff by listening, feeling, observing what the spirit world do with my clients or my students. And in that way, it's so interesting. So actually started to have a lot of ancestors, not really ancestors, but, close relatives coming and helping in the healing. And then I thought, interesting, because there's also something called family constellation therapy. I don't know what's the English is. Okay, that's it. They use, it's like you have a problem, so the client is in the middle, and then they have some artists, not artists, but some people playing different kind of relations, mother or granddad, but what I noticed from some of my students that were talking about, they sense the presence of that ancestor. And then I thought, interesting. And then I started to, invite ancestors into the healing, and then the healing process went even faster and were more profound. So in that way, I started to invite the ancestors, both because of my knowledge with the mediumship and the training to open the channel so the ancestors could come in, and also work with some of the theory that this family constellation used. So what I do here is actually I use my mediumship skills, if you can say that, connected with the healing channel, and then I open for creating a space where they can come and help. And when I'm in a healing energy, normally I call it a pillar of light, but it's like I enter a place where I get myself very calm, like in a very deep meditation, open so that the divine or the spirit and the healing energy can enter and support my client. And that place is actually very much like when Michael Newton talks about the dimension between lives. It's that place. So in that way, yeah, I can be in contact with, the ancestors. I could be in contact with angels. I could be in contact with whatever, because it's a connection to all dimensions that are connected with the loving work and light. And in that way, I just ask for those that are able to help my client best, and then the ancestors come in. And what I find interesting with that is that the epigenetic or the problems could be transferred in many generations.
Yes.
And what I ask is, like, I see a healing line or road or path, and then I ask, who can help my client from the ancestors? And then somebody comes into this white healing path towards my client. And it could be the one that has started the problem,
Yeah.
100 years ago. Now
Yes.
he's ready to help because he had done something, or he had been, experienced unhappy love. And since then, none in the family has had a happy
Yes.
relationship. And it has been transferred, divorces, broken hearts, all the way down.
That's right.
And because his now living and relative, because she or he is ready to heal this trauma.
Yes.
There's a ready in the physical realm that's ready to heal the trauma. He can come in and say,
right. Yeah.
I'm ready now. You're ready. I'm ready. Let's do it. And then there will be other ancestors that maybe are not so much affected by the trauma, but they have a lot of healing energy. So they can heal him in spirit world. So the spirit will heal each other and heal my present living client. And in that way, it will heal each other in the whole. All the ancestors can have healing, and client can have healing, and it will affect the living relatives,
future generations,
in that way. And it's like, I see it like it's lifting the whole amount of heaviness. It's just like there's light and lightness within the ancestor, the family life of the ancestors and the present, and in that way we can lift and involve humanity much faster. Because normally that man 500 years ago should be ready to be born again. So he should go down, incarnate, heal his problems, and then up again, and then down again. And this way we can make a lot of shortcuts. And we need to make those shortcuts now.
That's right.
We need to,
because it has to
humanity now.
Because it has to be the front person who's here in the duality, in the earth plane, who is actually, and this earth plane person has to be ready to want to heal. They have to be ready to want to. So they have to be, have done a little bit of work, a little bit into the spiritual work, and understand a little bit, and okay, I have this problem, which is half of the problem healed anyway, to know that you have this problem.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I know that it's from my ancestors. For me, it was always money, from all generations. No one was ever, we had, all poor families, all of that. My mother, when I was really young, I remember her saying, you can't have that. We don't have enough money for it. We can't afford it, and it's a program that you take on until you realize you've got to stop it, and you've got to heal that, for you to move forward, to be able to receive abundance.
Yes, it is actually that. And what's really good about it is when you understand it's not your problem.
Yes, it's not yours.
When you think it's your problem and it's actually not yours, it's like big stones. You cannot get them away because it's not yours. If it's yours, you can take it. But if it's not yours, you cannot really heal it. But if you say, I'm ready, and you open for the ancestors and they are ready, then they can take their stones from you.
Yes.
And it's so much, when I have a client or a student, I ask them to connect with the pillar of light, or the healing energy. And then I ask them to sense what part of this problem is yours and what is actually your ancestors. What's from your mother? What's from your father? And when they feel relief somehow, it's like, oh, now I give it to my father's lineage.
Mm.
And I'm feeling much lighter. Then it's a clear response that it's not yours.
Yes.
And next clear response is they are standing there taking it and just waiting for you to be ready so they can do, up with the sleeve, take on,
That's
because
right.
they really want us to succeed.
Yeah.
If we succeed, the whole family
That's right.
and
Heals.
the legacy and the lineage will
Yes.
succeed.
It's so important. It's so important to do this, because we are the product of all of our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. They are so important,
Yeah.
It's just, and it's so profound because we do the healing. We're on the front line. Like we're on the front line. We can, if we acknowledge it, then they can come in. It's so profound, isn't it? To make that.
Yeah, and it's like that. Remember that it's only for the last, maybe in the Western part of the world, it's only for the last part of 300 years or so that we have stopped connecting with the ancestors.
I know, because they connect with the ancestors all around the world.
Yes, like it's in our genes. It's no problem. It's like we have ancestors that have been doing that for thousands of years.
Yes.
It's only the last 300 years we haven't done it. It's no problem. It's in our gene. Our genes are so old. So we can just connect with the experience and open up for our gift to be in contact with spirit world and our ancestors. It's our genes. Everybody have done it earlier. Some of us, your ancestors have been doing it all the time.
Yes.
So when you just open the door a little, is there anyone's? Yes, we are here.
That's
so
right.
So it's like it's in it's a legacy we have to have that contact. So when I'm getting my teachings on Maui, it's normal to have the ancestors contact. And mostly before I started to have this more normal ancestor contact, then I also said to my students that because we have stopped connecting with our ancestors, I had a very, very big feeling that what we call guides actually is our ancestors. So it's not
spirit guides are our ancestors. Yes, they are, aren't they?
So in that way, we are not really. We just call them guides.
Yeah, but they're our ancestors.
But many of them, they will help us, and if that's the way they can come to us, then we'll do it and say we are guides. But actually, some of them are our ancestors. So we have these skills within us.
Yes.
So you also ask, how can we get in contact with our ancestors?
Please, yeah.
And for me, it's again, whenever I open up for doing spiritual work, I'm connected with what I call the pillar of light or the divine energy or the healing energy from the most divine place and loving place in the universe. For me, it's very important to be connected to that part where, it's helping my energy to be better. And I know that everything that comes from there is pure.
Yes.
So when you start to connect, you also start to, the first little step is to get in contact with the divine or healing energy, or sit in a meditation and sense the presence of something lovely, like imagine that you're connected with a ray of light or like a ray of sunshine, but the sunshine, you call it the divine, and then you will start slowly to have that contact. You can also go another way with your breathing and get into a deeper, calm contact, a meditative state, and start to for every breath you take, you say, I connect with my soul, I connect deeper with my soul, and suddenly everything will be experienced more like a being and not a physical experience, but more like a being. And in that you will often also feel a big peacefulness, and there you are also connected with the divine. So in that way, there are different ways, but start to have the feeling of being peaceful and connected to something that you are, that you feel like a presence of love somehow. You can also go into a prayer, but not just think. It is not visualizing. It's not like mentally doing something. It's more like an emotional, because our soul is not physical. It's like an emotion. It's like, of course, there's a lot of mental things in our soul, but it's more emotions. It's more like being a consciousness that's not mental in that way. It's a lot deeper sense. Love, you cannot think love, you have to feel love.
Yes, that's right.
Not
That's right.
think peacefulness, you have to feel peacefulness. And for me, that's very important, that when you do spirit work, that you are present within your body, so you are capable of feeling feelings within yourself. Because if you're in your mind, it can really fuck with you.
Yes.
But if you're in your emotions and in your body, you sense very clear the presence of God.
Beautiful.
So when you start just to be calm, connected with the divine somehow, and with your soul, and then ask for, a contact or proof of one of your loved ones. It could be you ask for a little contact on your cheek, or maybe a smell, or something like that. Just start slowly with a little contact to one loved one that you know so good that you can recognize just the presence of them, because you will probably not see them. Everybody wants to see, but our most profound sense is sensing the presence around us. So we sense the presence of someone, we sense the consciousness, we sense, okay, there's someone entering my space, and they don't have a physical form up there. They have energy, they are emotions, they are consciousness. So if you want to see something, it's like, oh, there's a light. Is that grandma? Is it, you have to sense them and recognize them from what you sensed from their soul when they were alive. And then you can recognize them by sensing the presence. And from that on, you can work connecting with more ancestors. So that's simple, small steps. And it's for everyone. It's not, I don't see why everybody shouldn't have the possibility, because everybody of us is soul in a body that has the potential to feel emotions and presence.
Yes.
So it's around, and they want to help us. They really want to help us.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so, I mean, epigenetic, the epigenetic healing combined with spiritual healing from the ancestors, that's, how we can help with problems and traumas and blockages in our lives today.
I would say that the methods that have developed in that way is working very, very good. And what's interesting, and when I have, normally I have, I teach epigenetic healing and karmic healing.
Yep.
And what's interesting, when I have one student and she or he starts to work with this, the whole family works. I have one student and the whole family starts to go into a process of development. And it's because when she works or he works, it affects the others right away. And the children are even faster to respond, because they have been carrying the stuff from their mother or fathers.
Yes.
And they are more ready, because, it's like, I want to break free very fast.
You know what, Marzcia, that's so true, because, it's like I call it the matricentral, right? The mother and the child. All of our society, even the dolphins and the whales and all the mammals, it's all about the mother and the child. Yeah. And the mother teaches the child, she wants to make the child do the things that she does to make her child independent. Yeah. But that's the basis of our society and matricentrial. So it's the mother, and the father to some consent, because the father is the protector, that the children learn from. And if she has the traumas, and if she hasn't healed them within her, or hasn't done her shadow inner work and delved into that darkness, into her, subconscious and the pain body within, then that the children will feel that. The children will feel that, and they will go out and act it out themselves. So it's so important, because they feel our energy. I've got 4 children. They feel that.
Yeah, it's really like, if you look at it that way, they come, a little child lie in the mama's stomach for 9 months in the most, in the unconscious place.
Yes.
All the things that we don't really want to look at are put down. So the child lies in that for 9 months, trying to, grow and be, I'm a little one, my soul is, but you also have to learn very quickly to adapt to the family. So you have to adapt to your mother's stuff. And actually, a child also notices their father very much already in the stomach. They can recognize father's voice. And of course, their sensory system also sense father's presence. So the father's more important than also his undeveloped, unsolved stuff.
Yes,
the child will
on both sides.
And when the child comes out, it cannot regulate itself. So the child, our system, our nervous system regulates itself from our parents' nervous system. So if your mother is not well regulated, or just has really problems, or your father has, the child will sense that, and it will copy that. And the next thing, child also think unconsciousness. Okay, super. Is if mother or father are not surviving, the child cannot survive. So there is a survival mode in trying to, keep mom up, dad up. So a little child use a lot of energy to regulate itself in relation to the parents, but also to feed the parents with energy so they can help them to survive. And that's a really, really nasty combination if your family or your mother and father are not really
if they've got lots of trauma, lots of wounding.
Really, and they are so deeply incorporated to our I call it automatic pilots. So you have an automatic pilot that say like this and this and this, and it's not your soul. It's learning that you have been had from your parents or from your early childhood. So you have to find your, have the good autopilots, because the bad keeps your life in a wrong place and keep you away from your soul. But again, remember, we have a lot of good stuff. Of course, we have trauma from our family and our ancestors, but we also have a very strong survival energy and a lot of power and knowledge from our ancestors, and also from our parents. Even though they could be problematic, they created you. And that's,
and you were born into, you chose them parents, you chose them to learn about that life lesson of being in that situation to make you grow and evolve.
So you have to, again, as I said, you have to get the best out of it. And sometimes you have to get out of it. But again, you have to say, okay, this is actually not mine. What's mine? And what I find, okay, I'm a biologist as well, so I'm educated biologist. So what I find interesting, we have a part from our mother, a part from our father, and then we have a little small part where the chromosomes are making a mixture that's totally unique for you. So you come with your own essence. Your father's, mother's, and then the room for what's unique with you. And you have that. And that's what you have to get the best from your mother's lineage, the best from your father's, combined with what's you. And then actually my healer, Sean Kia, he said, the Hawaiian one, said, you are the crown jewel of your family. And that's why, We are standing on their shoulders, but
We
you
are.
also have the
We're the
future.
byproduct of all of our ancestors. We're the 0 point. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to develop from that till something that's better.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
wished us to be better. They knew that they were not better. They knew they did something.
And also, do you think as well, like whatever they went through, they didn't have the tools. They couldn't heal themselves. They didn't know how to do it back 500 years or 1,000 years ago. They didn't know what it meant. You know, we have grown so much spiritually and, you know, emotionally and, you know, physically as a species. We understand now what it means, you know, and how to heal. You know, there's so many different ways that we can do that. And that's why they've been waiting in the wings. Oh, this one's going to do it.
Yes.
You know, this one's
Yes.
because it has to take a strong soul to come in to stop it going further, to say, right, this is the one that's going to awaken and it's going to heal us and all of them, and it's going to stop it. And then, you know, we can move up, we can evolve and we can ascend. And
It's actually, I find it's like you have so many people behind you in spirit world.
Our whole soul team,
we have
you know,
all the support.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just feel alone and you know, in despair, but they're there. They're there. And some of the despair thing is also theirs. So again, if I'm despairful, if I have those really big feelings like down, I'll try, okay, is it actually from my mother's side or my father's side? Just, you know, release what's not mine so I can take on what's mine.
Yeah.
Because when I do that, I can solve my own. But
That's right. Because it's not ours to carry. It's not to carry. They have to sort their own out. Yeah. It's their responsibility. And as women, we tend to carry a lot of everyone else's. You know, and that's difficult, isn't it? Yeah. And can I ask you as well, what do you think about collective ancestral wounding or collective, you know, like the traumas that happened, the wars and the things and like the Inquisition when all the women were burnt and all the men went to war. I mean, that's a collective wound, you know, on a society, on a country. And I think that stays within. I mean, in yoga, we call them, you know what we call them? We call them samskaras, because they're a scar on the energetic body, in the energetic pain body. They're a scar on the DNA. And, you know, that's what we keep reincarnating to heal, that samskara.
Yeah. And that's it's very important to look at that. When we are right now in the world, we are actually looking at scars from, you know, Second World War that wasn't healed. And it's like blowing up. But it's because it was just borders set. It was not a healing process. And I hope very much that humankind now has the possibility, we have to have this to change it, where we actually heal these wounds. Because if you don't heal them, they will break up. And what's not interesting, but the ancestors are very present to wish to help us with this, because they don't wish us as the humanity or the world or the universe to collapse or the nature. They wish to actually, I see people, humankind, our assignment was to take care of.
Yes.
To take care of each other, to take care of nature, to appreciate and honor. And we do everything that's not that.
Yes.
And we have to change that, because our survival mode keeps us in the feeling of having too little. And when we are there, our heart closes down.
Yeah.
So when you're a farmer or you have felt a lot of really, really hard times in your lineage, then you also have those, and you have the possibility to heal. We are 9 billion people on Earth, 9 billion souls. We have a golden opportunity to make this change now. Where is the collective thing? You know, when we look at it, in our past life, we have been men and women.
Or both, The soul is androgynous. The soul is androgynous, is it not?
Yes, it is. So our past life, we have been, you know, all around the world. We have been men and women. We have been poor and rich. We have been the good,
we've been the
the bad
victim, we've
one.
been the murderer, we've been the victim, we've been the murderer, we've been, you know, we've been the millionaire, we've been the servant, we've been everything.
And I'm quite sure if you look down your lineage, your ancestors, they have been everything as well.
Yeah.
So if we start, you know, really heal up and look at the potentials that we have from all those cultures that we actually within ourselves in this present now have, then I see a big possibility to change not only you, but humanity.
Yes.
And I think that's what's happening right now.
So do I.
We are in a time where an old culture is shifting,
Yes.
and there's something new coming from. And the new thing is that we have to be much more present within our soul, because our soul has the capacity to heal the wounds and also the capacity to take in more divine and love and even more heal wounds. And that's the only way I can see we have a difference. We have to go that way. The other way has been going that way for so many years now, for so many thousands of years.
And it's not good. Yeah,
but
create the same.
We are 9 billion souls. 9 billions. If just, you know, a part of us go down and connect soul, earth, do the work.
Yeah.
We affect the surroundings.
Exactly we do. That's so true.
They are our nervous system. So if you're present with one that has their soul contact and live in accordance with what's divine, the other one will mirror that, and they will remember their soul, and they will start to do the process. It's like you know, the water rings doing their work totally automatically.
That's what it is. Because it's an awakening. It's an awakening to the fact of us, our power within, our divinity within, and that we self-create everything. Everything around us has been self-created, which is such a powerful understanding, realization when you realize that. All the, you know, and that's the beginning of the self-healing, you know?
Yeah.
And then once we do that, it's like that little light shines on, and then others will see that light, and then you would lead by example. And it's just earth peace through self peace. We have to do it within ourselves first, and then it pushes out. How beautiful is that?
It's very, very beautiful. But also when I see the youngsters coming now, they are so clear. Their souls and the way they, you know, I'm highly sensitive. And as a child, I was like, okay, humans are too much for me. I would like to go with my animals and be with them, because, you know, heart to heart, no problems. Animals are so loving. It was simple for me.
Yes.
Human beings, not simple. But what happens was I started to make this healing work. I started to sense the soul in others. And suddenly it was like, I would never have thought that I would, you know, use my life with people. But that's what I do, because the soul work, helping people to find themselves, helping them to find themselves, and then helping the world to find itself. It's so rewarding, and it's the only way I can see we can change.
It's
the
young ones,
the young ones coming now, they have to have the help, better help than we had, because I was numb, emotionally numb. I didn't connect
and also
people.
they have to be taught this spiritual side to us in schools. It's ridiculous what they're teaching in schools. It's just so rubbish. You know, they need to be taught about energy, that what they are energy beings, that they are powerful, that they are divine and human, that about the soul, you know.
I teach people. I have clients from around 8 years old that I teach how to be connected with the healing energy and the guardian angel. Not that they should go up to the guardian angel, but the guardian angel are placed, like, helping them to ground, because they know the guardian angel and they are feeling safe for that. And when you're safe, you're grounded. So in that way, not grounded as, but you are connected with yourself and you are got good placed within yourself and your life. So I teach children that. And also I teach children Reiki or healing from 10, or normally I have been working mostly with 13 till around 18 years. So I have worked with teenagers, but I also have one team where I work from 10 to 13. And they are so fast to learn because they have been there for just a moment ago. They were connected. So the earlier we start, the more natural it will be for them to have that contact with them and use the angels or use the loved ones to be in their life. So we have a very big assignment to help the young ones to be more whole or themselves or connected from the start.
Definitely. Yes. It's so important. It's so important to teach the children. And this is really, I'm just fascinated with this. Soul retrieval. Can you describe that?
Yes. So soul retrieval for me is, I know that other people call it dissociate, the English word. An English word that as Grink would use when a person is not connected. What would that be? In Danish, it would be dissociated.
Yes, dissociated or disconnected. Yeah.
Okay, but if you have trauma, it's like you are disconnecting from yourself.
Yes.
And I often have this example when you, it's not really because I'm not that afraid of mouses, but if you see a mouse, you will jump on the chair and you will you will scream. But like if you have a shock or a trauma, your body will push the soul out, try to defend the soul because it's the precious thing. So
Yes.
it's so you will be a little out of yourself, a little disconnected. But when you heal the trauma, your body will go from a sympathetic alarm response where you are in an arousal or in freeze or paralyzed, partly paralyzed. That's what our trauma does. It's like we doesn't really have the connection with that part where the trauma is. It could sit physically, emotionally, mentally. So when you heal up, you start to go out of this freeze state and you enter from this sympathetic nervous system alarm, adrenaline, cortisol, to parasympathetic nervous system.
Parasympathetic.
So
Yes.
you go into a much more peaceful state. So when your body relaxes, the soul can come back. And in that way, it's a retrieval of contact with your soul. So your soul can enter the body again because the body is not like this. It's like,
It's like a wholeness again, a wholeness, an alignment. Yeah.
In that way, your soul can come into your body again and you go from survival mode to living. And your soul is here for living. It's not for survival. The body is survival, but the soul is here for living. It's not afraid of dying because it has internal life. The only thing that's afraid of dying is your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that's right.
the body has to relax and the trauma healed, and then the soul can enter again. And it could be, it could be trauma within your mother's stomach, when you're a little foster. And it could be when you're newly born, and it could be yesterday.
Oh, it could be past lives as well. It could,
Oh yeah, that's the same. It could also be. So you have the retrieval, and when you work with trauma, you can create access to your soul, and it can enter your physical body, and you can start to radiate from your soul instead of trauma or what you have been learning. So instead of being fed up with other people's emotions or trauma or your own, you are starting to be, filled out with your soul. And that makes a big difference because when your nervous system starts to mirror your soul and your soul has this peacefulness It has a lot of happiness. It has a lot of power. It has a lot of strength. When you start to mirror yourself instead of mirroring surrounding and being afraid, then you have to change.
Yes.
And it's a change in your nervous system. So when you make this change in your nervous system from arousal to be more in peace with yourself, then your organs can start to cleanse, because the blood is much better streaming throughout your body,
Yes.
helping you to keep.
And the energy is free flowing through all of the chakras. You know, the whole energy, all
So
are
the other thing with retrieval, the other thing with retrieval is when you have a development, you start to, example, you start to explore your spiritual abilities. There's just, like a flying airplane, when they are going to land, they're like circling around, waiting for getting, access to land. And I think the soul is like that. A part of your soul is, she's starting to take the spiritual way now. The path. Oh, okay, she's ready. And in that way, you can retrieve soul essence from you. That's just like a potential that you haven't you haven't been in contact with before, but it's a part of your soul just waiting for you to take the next step. And that's also a way. It's not only trauma. It's also just development into new subject that you really have a talent for, but you haven't, used before. And it's like, yes, I can learn. So the soul retrieval is
beautiful.
It's getting more in contact and embodied with your soul.
Yes, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I mean, in your beautiful book, all of the beautiful self-healing exercises and meditations, it just, the self, I can't wait to read it actually. Yeah. To just describe a couple of, the self, I mean, you've been telling us all about them. Yeah. The self-healing. I mean, meditation is so important. Know thyself, because nothing out there is going to suffice us,
No.
Only within, only that divine love light energy within. When I start meditating, do I fill myself up with that from within? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you wanted me to tell a little about the healing meditations, or?
Yeah.
Okay. I have on my in the book, I mentioned different kinds of healing meditations. Some of them are free healing meditations that you can find on my website. That's marzcia.com. And the free ones is one of the are some of those that I used very much in the start of my development to help me master my sensory system and my highly sensitivity and my contact with the spirit world, and helping me to be who I am, grounded in this life together with the spirit world. So some of those meditations, like the express grounding with your guardian angel, is like you can use it, you can listen to it, and you can start to have the feeling. So you don't have to listen to it, but you can use it whenever you like. So it's like when I'm in a grocery shop, and people are angry and they are hungry and there's too many choices it's like I can be so stressed. Then I connect with the pillar of light. I connect with my guardian angel. I sense the guardian angel surrounding me. And I start to mirror my guardian angel's energy instead of my surroundings. And that way I keep myself peaceful. And that's one of the meditations I have used very much. There's also a meditation to investigate your own space. In that way, what we have been talking about is how much you take in from other people, the surroundings, because it's a normal way. Is there a danger there? Should I help someone there? And how does he feel and her? And we are so much on work all the time in our nervous system. So I have one called your own space, where you investigate. Okay, right now you're just you. And everybody is out of your energy system. And then you take one relation at a time and sense what happens when you connect to them. Do you get tension? Is it actually not quite right for you, or is it like, oh, lovely? So you start to recognize what's actually good for you and who is good for you. And after that, you can start more and say, okay, the ones that are good for me stays out there. So you don't have to connect with them. And that's also a very, very good exercise, connected with healing. So there's so many, and of
That's
course,
so beautiful. Yeah.
there's healings meditation with sisters and angels and everything.
And where can we read your beautiful book?
It's now you're in UK, and that's very good. So in most of the world, it will be out here the 10th of December 2024. So right in just next week. So it will be out in every online stores, Amazon UK, and many other places in the world. There is some places because Amazon US feeds Germany and France and Canada and Japan and India. So they will first get it the 1st of 1st this 20th.
Brilliant. Wonderful.
Yeah. So you are actually now, so it should be in bookstores and it's in online stores. Yeah. And if you buy it online, you can send me a receipt, and then I will make a personal clairvoyant message and send back to people.
Lovely.
So because normally when I sign my books, when I have a signing, and it's for the own person themselves, I make a short message from their teams, of the guide team, and I would like to do that for till New
Wonderful.
Year. So if people buy it right now, they can send me the invoice, and then
lovely.
Then I will return with a signed thing. So that's it.
Marzcia, honestly, wow, I've just learned so much, and it's been absolutely wonderful to talk to you, and just thank you so much for your divine wisdom about the ancestors. That was just amazing. And thank you for being on the Great Awakening show.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It has been such a big pleasure. It's so nice to meet you. I have been... Yeah, it's so nice. I really want to see you in live someday.
Yeah, come on, when you come to London.